they will be allowed to go into the millennial reign, and so there will be a lot of people that never professed Yahushua as Son of God that will be allowed to go through to the millennial reign because of their actions towards His people. They took care of them. Maybe they didn't necessarily agree with what they believed or did, but they were good to Him. And so He lets them go through to the millennial reign. And it's only going to be, by the time He comes back and all is said and done, at the end of the Battle of Armageddon, maybe a third left on Earth still alive. Question, does the 2012 Mayan calendar thing have anything to do with the timing of the book of Revelation? Yeah, it's like the end. Everybody's waiting for 2012 for the coming of the Antichrist. I look at 2012 as Armageddon and beyond. I mean, the second coming of Yahushua in Armageddon is 2011, 2012. And so, yeah, it's just the end of one thing and on to the next period of judgments, and then setting up for the millennial reign of Christ. And so, don't sit around waiting thinking we have to December of 2012, because you may not have to December of 2009. The Mayan calendars, folks, these Mayans and these Hopi Indians, the Hopi Indians are hybrids. They're half alien, half human. They're children of aliens. And they don't worship the Son of God. They're into witchcraft and demonic religions, and in their prophecies, people give the Mayans and these Hopis, these apostate hybrid children, more credence in the book of Revelation. And so don't do that. Just go to the Lord. I know it's interesting. Sometimes I'll post something I see. Simply because so many people delve into that stuff. But they're hybrids. They're hybrids. They are children from their parents formerly lived on Atlantis. And what they did was escaped through the Americas over from Atlantis before Atlantis was blown up. And so they've just survived and passed down their apostasies for years. Sherry, about how much more powerful is orgone with copper coils than without copper coils? Well, you need copper coils because they fire up the crystal and then the metal shavings that are in the orgone. You need all the ingredients to make the kind of orgone that the Lord has us making. And our orgone destroys evil. It will destroy chemtrails. It will defend you against elf attacks. And it's like 101 uses of our orgone, but you have to make it the way it's implied on my website. And I have the directions at orgoneblasters.com on how to make your own orgone, and you have to make it that way. Now, I know you can go to different websites on the internet, and everybody's got their own 2 cents about orgone, but they're not making our orgone. They're making something else. There's different types of orgone energy that you can make. And they just make different types of orgone energy. And this, some of it's just as evil as what they're trying to fight. They're just drawing it and attracting it to them. Because people can make negative and evil-based orgone instead of positive living source orgone. I wouldn't buy anything off of eBay. I wouldn't buy anything from any of those groups online. Make it yourself, or get the stuff that we offer on orgoneblasters.com, because that's the kind of orgone that's going to defeat Satan's kingdom. We'll talk about the fake Jews and the Khazars and the people in Israel today. And one of the things that some of these people, some of these websites will say is the Lord is leading His people back to Israel, and that's hogwash. He never has. When His foot touches the mount and He returns and He establishes His reign on earth, then He will draw His people to Israel. And not until then. Not a day before until then. And so don't go there, folks, because Israel's going to be destroyed. Just as much as the United States is. Satan's kingdom, his foothold on earth, is the United States. And so just a lot of distractions going on. And just, like I always say, pray for the Lord for truth in all things to keep you focused on Him. And He'll start leading you into some of these prophetic pieces of the puzzle, and you can start pulling everything in. But that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, was just the last 2 horsemen, folks. The black horseman being Maitreya, and he's going to have a worldwide takeover of Islam. attempt, and then the arrival of the Pale Horse in 2009, which is the Sananda fake Jesus that's coming to Earth to enforce the mark of the beast that will start in 2009. And so, even in 2009, the Lord will protect the Church of Philadelphia, which is symbolic of all those who love and worship Him. He will protect them from the hour of tribulation that is to come upon the world. What is the hour of tribulation? It's not the entire tribulation period, because hour signifies a certain time period. And what He has shown me is that this hour of tribulation is when the mark is enforced upon the world, and when this enforced worship of the beast is enforced on the world. And so He will protect His people from that. Supernaturally on the earth, He will protect you, possibly take you to an encampment or something. And so that will come before, I believe shortly after the Sananda arrives. From what I'm seeing and believe right now, the rapture of the 144,000 will happen before Sananda arrives, while the other one will happen after Sananda arrives. It's not a rapture afterward, it's just where He protects His people on earth, supernaturally protects them, and seals the second group of 144,000 people. And so that will take place shortly after Sananda arrives, in what I believe is 2009. So what we have looking up here, folks, for 2008 is the arrival of Maitreya. Keep your eyes on Iran. This Minajab, whatever his name is, we need to come up with a nickname for this guy. Keep your eyes on what he's saying, because he knows this Maitreya is coming as much as I know this Maitreya is coming. And so, very interesting, because when he does come, he's the rider of the black horse. There's going to be worldwide famine. There's going to be worldwide wars, because he's riding. He's not only here, he's with already the war horse, which is George Bush. And there's going to be a huge wars all over the world. Literally World War III starting, triggering these famines. And then they'll have Sananda coming next, 2009, which will trigger plagues from all these famines and wars. And you just have a disaster over the next 2 years, killing off about 2 to 3 billion people. And so a time to prepare, folks. A time to prepare, not a time to go to sleep. So that's all I have to say. Now that I've said what I have to say, they leave me alone. That's the way it always is. Gonna talk some more next week on some more of these findings that I'm finding, that the Lord is showing me. Probably just more on things that people can understand. Some of the targets here in the United States. I already told one tonight that Jericho is on the chopping block of being destroyed by Maitreya. And so if you live in or around Jericho in Israel, people in Israel, in the literal land of Israel, if you see this Maitreya arrive in the Middle East, you need to run. You need to get out of Israel, because he is coming full storm towards Israel with a huge Confederate army. And the Lord will allow Jerusalem to become downtrodden by the Gentiles. And so they will be able to destroy parts of Jerusalem. And so the real Torah-believing Jews or Israelites in Israel, you need to get out of Israel and into safety. I believe the safe haven, Petra, Jordan, what is that, the Rose Rock or whatever they call it, City of Rock or Haven of Roses, or I don't know what it is. But Petra, Jordan, is a safe haven for the Israelites in the Old Testament, in the tribulation period. I would just be heading to Petra if I were you from Israel. When you see this Maitreya, get out of Israel. And the believers in America and around the world, when you see this Maitreya, you know famine is around the corner, because he is the famine horse. And so you'll need to definitely start getting prepared for the coming famine that he's going to cause. Until next week, folks, God bless everybody.